Hello everyone, it's me again, Russ Shaw. Welcome to the channel.
Yeah!
New Year's Day, doing a vinyl tag. Yeah, another one of these records. I'm going to do some other stuff in the new year. I have a resolution, but I like the record stuff. Man, I like the vinyl community. I'm going to stick around doing some of that stuff. Jack at the Vinyl Voyage is doing an art tag. It's 12 questions I can get behind. You know, there's David Atkinson's, the big unofficial vinyl tag. It's like 20 questions, and then there's like one question where you have to drag out 5 records or whatever. It's fine. I'll do it. All right. Eventually, I'll probably get to it. But this one I could knock out of the park pretty fast. So, not that all these are a chore. This is fun. I do it because it's fun. I do. But it's also time consuming. So, just throwing that out there. I'm going to take another swig off the big old Rainier beer. Talk about beer and vinyl. Northwestern original. Kinda. Yeah, it's a long story. Anyway. Number 1. I know. I'll get to it. Show an album with a band or artist just looking cool. So, here's a Seattle artist that I enjoy. He was written up in American Songwriter magazine. Emerald City's rock and roll expert, Aaron Jones. Sound storm on the horizon. So, great songwriter. It's a freaking rockin' cat. This is Aaron Jones, and there he is. There he is, just looking freaking cool. Right there. You know, I realized there he is in the back looking like a back of him was freaking cool as hell, too. You know what I realized about this record? Because I wanted to hear it so bad. And then I didn't, it's a gatefold, apparently. And I didn't pop the shrink on it, you know, trying to save that freaking hype sticker by the American Songwriter. You gotta save that. I'll have to cut that out later and put that away. But for the first time, I bought this, I can't remember when I bought this, a year ago, something like that. And yeah, there's lyrics, there's some more, there's a picture of him looking cool. Again, Aaron freaking striking a cool ass pose with his guitar. And there's one of him as a child. It's not so cool, but it's part of the theme of the record. Like, yeah, going into his past a little bit, being a child of the state, growing up. Man, the guy's got a story. I gotta share a little needle drop. Most of you probably never heard of this artist. Right? See, I told you. Anyway, put that one over here. Number 2 question up there. Show your weirdest, trippiest, most controversial album cover. It's a bit controversial, I suppose. This is it's trippy for sure. And I've showed this record before on my channel, but I'll show it again because this question begs it, and it's an artwork. It's an artsy kind of a thing, which I enjoy about this whole tag. This is Grunt Truck. The album's called Push. And not only was this signed, the record store day, everybody got together and signed this record. Tommy also was in a band called The Accused from Seattle, so he was a guitarist and singer in this band. Ben was the original singer who passed away from complications with diabetes, actually. So, amazing record, but check out that cover. There she is. And oh, she was there too, which is interesting. She was there, and she signed it right there. Probably the biggest signature on the record. The woman on the cover, and she's all like in body paint or something like that. And it's that trippy. It's not psychedelic music. It's more grunge, kind of to use that term. It's, you know, the hype sticker on the back. The grunt truck was taking a bass truck, you know, like the pickup for a bass, and putting it in a 6-string guitar, and then it was like That was the Grunt Truck. So there you go. Grunt Truck. Great freaking Seattle band. Okay, number 3, show your sexiest album cover. Okay, so throwing this out there too. I'm going to do 2. Hopefully not. Okay, so this is Alice Cooper, School's Out, right? I know, some of you probably know where I'm going with this. But in case you don't. And yeah, this was a repress, but still, it's got the... those are pretty, that's pretty sexy, right? There's a record wearing panties right there. The original. No, it's not the original. It's laced panties, that's right. The white laced panties. In this was the repress with the, again, the audiophile thing. It's a double LP. But wait, that wasn't the album cover, Russ. That was just the record with panties on it. So wait, one more. And for that one, I picked this kind of 80s kind of guy. Grew up around the 80s time. This is, I found this killer clean copy of this record from a guy's garage. This is Scorpions, Love It First Sting. And there's this couple in Embrace, and she's like getting a tattoo. I've had a few friends who are tattoo artists, and they're, you know, this is probably not protocol, you know, but she like, he's probably got another client after this one, and then he's like, you know, you can like jump on me or whatever, but I gotta finish this. So he's like, he's continuing to draw while whatever's going on there is going on. So that's my sexiest album cover. There you go. Show an album cover you dislike and why. Okay, so this one, I've owned this record a bunch of times. The music is phenomenal. I mean, this album is like one of those groundbreaking albums that, you know, some argue even started a genre of music. I think heavy metal is older than that, but this is Black Sabbath, Paranoid, and a lot of people have commented on this, but what the hell's going on right here? I don't know. You got a guy with a samurai sword. He's wearing like an old motorcycle helmet for whatever reason, holding a shield that, you know, probably came with one of those Halloween costumes that you get as a kid, you know, like a plastic bag or something, you know. Number 5, show an album that features a creature from the animal world. And this particular species of animal world, I believe Jack shared also on his channel. So I figured I'd share this as Infrared Riding Hood by Tad. And that is a close-up of a flea. So you got a flea's face pretty much taking up the full album cover. Question number 6. Show an album cover with an interesting backstory. All right, so this is probably one of the more expensive records I have in my collection. And yes, I've talked about it on my channel before. But if you're new to me, you might understand this one I'm about to share. So this I picked up Daybreak Records. It was like $80. It's worth a lot more than that now. Bought this a few years ago. This is Tad's 8-Way Santa. This is a band cover. So this cover was only sent out on the first press. And there's a lot more CDs of this image than there are records. So it's a great one to get your hands on. But it's the story behind it is that this image was found by the band, or by Tad Doyle, at a thrift store on Capitol Hill neighborhood in Seattle. And basically, it was like a photo album. He bought this photo album, and this picture was in the photo album, and they decided to make that their album cover. And this went through Sub Pop, right? So Sub Pop's like, okay, you know, they did this. And then the couple on the thing saw themselves on this album cover and said, hey, what the heck? We didn't sign off to be on Tad's album cover. And at first, I guess they'd just been signed to a bigger label. I think that was what this album was on. So this is another Tad record, right? Anyway, they were signed. They were in the process. Tad had some bad luck. Anyway, this is part of it. So they said, we'll pay you. Hey, we'll pay you if we can use this image, because they already, right, stopped the presses And the band, this guy's like, sure, I'll take some cash. And she had become the lead singer in like a Christian like rock band or something like that. And she's like, no, no, I don't want to be associated with this horrible music. So there's the story to that one. There you go. And yeah, if you can find that record. This is a great copy too, by the way. This thing is like just near mint. There's not a wrinkle or a damage to it whatsoever. 8-Way Santa, Tad. 2 Tad records. If you don't know Tad, you gotta look up Tad. Tad's some good Seattle shit. But most people never heard of the band, but great freaking sludgy, grindy, killer stuff. Okay, number 7. Show an album that has an interesting sleeve design. For instance, a die cut or pop-up sleeve. So this is not die cut or pop-up or anything like that. But I do like this. There's a bunch of different variants of this album. This is Ghost Skeleton. And it sort of has like a mirror finish. I have another copy of this. I just got this for Christmas, so I figured I'd show it off. Ghost Skeleton. It looks like a box set, but it's got a t-shirt in it. So, but I just thought that was a cool, like if you hold it a certain way. I don't know, I thought that was pretty cool. So, it's like a mirrored, like, I don't know how they printed that, but very cool. All right, so number 8, show an album where the sleeve art was the primary reason you decide to take a chance on the music. So this was fairly recently, and I'm digging through the bins at here we go. I gotta take a swig off the old.
An barbecue, aren't it?
Yes, it are.
The BRs are artfully arranged.
You are articulate, aren't you?
Oh, we artists are. Our heads are better after all. Our heads are fresher, too. They certainly are.
I'm digging through the dollar bins at Daybreak Records. They even have them outside. If it's not raining, they'll put the dollar bins outside, even if it's cloudy. Chance of precip, there's somebody out there, stat, and they just bring the records back in. I've never got a soggy record at Daybreak yet. But this is, just pick this up. I've never heard of the artist. I don't know the music, but it was $1. This record was $1. And it's great. We've already listened to this a few times. It's called Rock and Roll Cowboys. He's got a Tennessee plate. It's at nighttime. He's driving this cool classic car, this cat, right? You had me at Rock and Roll Cowboys, first of all.
It's the rock and roll cowboy. Singing.
But then you throw in the artwork, and he's like, you can see the city lights in the distance. Like this is some kind of teenage makeout point, you know. Back in the day, like teenagers used to go to a place. You didn't have GPS back then. Your mom couldn't text you and ask where you were, check on the iPhone or whatever. Like you could just do that back then. This is 85. This album came out. I got so interested in this artist, I did a little research on him, and he passed away in 2007 due to complications with Lyme disease. Like Lyme disease, seriously? All right, if you guys are out camping, you gotta spray on that stuff. All right. Number 9. Now here's a great question. I like the storytelling. I like to get to know people through stories and how the music affects them, or the relationship even with a piece of physical media, which I believe Jack is touching on here with this question. Number 9. Show your most battered sleeve that has the most wear and tear, ring wear, creases, tears, or an album that has particular battle scar. Tell the story of the scars. So I got a couple, and they're related. Number 1 is AC/DC's Let There Be Rock. Check this out. You see that? That's this is actually from water damage. So we had a fire here at the house back in 2006, and long story short, I was cooking. My wife was out of town. We were out in the backyard. I was trying to make fries and oil and the thing, and I forgot about the fire went up, the flue, and caught the upstairs on fire. It was a whole thing. We had to move out for like 6 months. But they sprayed several bazillion gallons of water on the house here. And I had a box of records that got wet, and I just couldn't bear to throw them away. So this is one of them. That's water damage on the side. But I love this record so much. It has sentimental value or whatever. So similarly, and you probably appreciate this. Look at check out the ringwear on this one. Like, that is just some killer ringwear, right? Now this was another record that was in the fire or the water damage that we had in the basement, that all that happened. And it was so bad that I threw out the original. So this was a Frankenstein one. So there's the wax, right? And then I found this sleeve on a really scratchy record at Daybreak that I bought for like $2 or $3. And so I kept this jacket to go with this record, just because of the character of the thing, right? Like, I knew that the records in that box, most of them, I have one copy of Pink Floyd The Wall, original press of Pink Floyd The Wall, that didn't get water damage, thank God. That one's okay. But this one had really bad water damage. And then I saw this jacket and I thought, oh man. Because that pressing of this, like, this record sounds great. But the record that was in here originally, it was pretty worse for wear. Question number 10. Show your favorite inner gatefold. I don't know if this is a favorite. I'm not big on the word favorite, you know. My tastes tend to change with the seasons. So what my favorite is now is not going to be my favorite a week from now, odds are. But anyway, this is a good one. This is a repress of so as far as inner gatefolds go, this is Ronnie James Dio's Holy Diver. This is the repress of it. Just really cool. The original artist, came back and did this killer artwork, which is awesome. And then in the inside here, you got the priest in the water, right? With the chains all around him and stuff. And I don't know. I like it because Roman Catholic Church is in my opinion, just not even in my opinion, like, do some research. Everyone owes Sinead O'Connor a big freaking apology for what she did on Saturday Night Live, tearing up that picture of the Pope. If we knew then what we know now, and they're still covering shit up. I guess I say this, and the reason I chose this is because Pope Leo's on the freaking news all the time now in my country, because he's from here, and now everyone's gushing over the freaking Pope and awesome. And here's Lenny. I guess that's what Dio named him. He's right. He's out there implementing some justice. This album originally came out in the early 80s, so this is very controversial. I remember during the Satanic Panic, like, oh, you're listening to that music, are you? You're going straight to the hot place. And number 11. Show your favorite album cover and why it is your favorite. I don't know, again, with the favorites and favorite word, not sure about that. But I'll share this just because, again, cultural impact, right? We just went from number 10 with the cultural impact to this one. This is Duran Duran's Rio. So the art on this album cover, like, friggin' swept across my country like you wouldn't believe. I mean, up until you could still walk through thrift stores in my country today, and you'll see this artist's artwork, like this style of artwork from the 80s, all over the place. Right? Impact. Global. I don't know if it was global. Was it global? I don't really know too much about the artist. I didn't go and do a research deep dive on the artist, but again, this image, this album cover just changed 80s like yuppie art in my country. All right, we're down to the last question, number 12. If you had to live in an album cover for the rest of your life, which one would it be and why? Okay, so this album, Live at the Trestle Tavern, and check out that album cover. So the story behind this is that this record was filmed. This record, you would think it was filmed. It wasn't filmed here. This record was recorded not too far from here. I could walk to the place where the Trestle Tavern used to be from my house. It's about 2 or 3 miles from here. And Tony V, a guy that owns one of the venues downtown here in Everett, he actually recorded it. Well, him and some other guys actually recorded the original bootleg of this. And it sounds great. Whoever cleaned this up, it's like amazing for a kind of a pretty small venue back in the day to have such great sound. But Everett, Washington don't look like that, right? That looks like Southern California. That looks like where the guys from Sublime are from right there, right? Not that I'd want to live in Southern California, but that looks like a pretty cool place to be. I mean, Southern California, Dana's from Southern California. She'd want to go back to Southern California. If we could afford it, that'd be pretty cool. You got to pay the sun tax if you want to live in Southern California. It's not cheap. I know Vinyl Richie, he's down there. Vinyl Richie's wearing a Downey, yeah, he was wearing.
Where I want to go.
Downey's where Dana was born. Vinyl Richie was wearing a shirt from Downey, California, which is pretty cool. But yeah, he's down there, down around that awesome area. Went to a lot of cool shows, like this one.
Huntington Beach area, but
Huntington Beach. That's even richier.
I don't mind going to Downey because it's cheaper.
Gotta be a bazillionaire to pay the sun tax.
But we can visit there.
It's getting expensive here.
It's not too.
Bonus question number 13. Create your own album cover for an album released by your channel. And I guess if this was like thumbnails, right? We could do a thumbnail album cover. I guess here's what that would look like. There you go. I asked AI to do it, so I don't even know what it looks like yet. I'll do that later. I'm lazy like that. I'm not gonna, right? I don't know. I don't know how you feel about that. Comment below, I suppose. I'll leave a link to I'll put the questions down there. Leave a link to Jack's. I'm gonna comment on his thing, and thanks, Jack, for doing this. It's kind of fun. I like it. Vinyl tags, hanging out, doing some vinyl tags.